What happens when a global superpower draws a red line and the rival it targets simply steps over it? A rule only works if you can enforce it, and right now, in the vast deserts of Xinjiang, that rule is being broken on an industrial scale. When the United States banned the sale of advanced Nvidia AI chips to China, the intention was crystal clear: create a permanent technological gap. America wanted to slow China down, limit its access to high-end compute, and protect its dominance in the AI race. But the strategy didn't just fail. It backfired in a way almost nobody predicted. Instead of slowing down, China accelerated. And the question became unavoidable: how did China get the chips anyway? We're not talking about a few dozen units quietly smuggled across borders. We're talking about 115,000 advanced chips, enough computing power to run the digital infrastructure of a small nation. Those chips are now being plugged into Chinese servers, transforming a forbidden American technology into the backbone of China's expanding AI empire. This isn't simple defiance. This is realpolitik at its finest, proof that in the 21st century, a determined nation can rewrite the rules of engagement without firing a single shot. So, what comes after calling your rivals bluff? You go all in. And China's all in is a staggering $98 billion investment in AI within a single year, more than the market value of many Fortune 500 companies. It's not just money, it's a national statement. And that capital is being converted directly into physical capability. Colossal server farms that consume electricity like entire cities. Gigantic solar power complexes built right next to them. Underground fiber optic networks that act as the nervous system for this new digital organism. This is the key difference in China's approach. They're not just buying the tools, they're building the entire playground on their own soil and under their own rules. They've learned that dependence on foreign suppliers is a strategic vulnerability. And now they are spending $1 trillion to eliminate that weakness permanently. But the real question is, how do you secretly acquire a mountain of the world's most restricted technology? You don't send spies, you build shell companies. The story behind China's chip stockpile is a global web of corporate intermediaries scattered across third countries. These entities purchase chips legally and reroute them quietly to their final destination. It's not a Hollywood spy thriller. It's a meticulous and ethically gray supply chain maneuver executed with precision. Acquiring chips solves today's problem. But securing tomorrow's supply? That required something far more strategic. China began pouring billions into homegrown chip designers and manufacturers. While publicly condemning American restrictions, it was quietly constructing the foundation for full self-sufficiency. The goal is no longer to simply have the chips. It is to make the American ban meaningless by mastering the entire production pipeline from start to finish. And this brings us to the deserts of Xinjiang. On a map, it looks like the worst place on Earth to build one of the world's most advanced computing hubs. But look closer, and you see the logic. Energy is the lifeblood of AI, and data centers are insatiable consumers. The desert provides endless cheap solar and wind power, converting what would normally be a massive cost into a manageable one. Then comes security. Remote locations are naturally insulated from prying eyes and physical threats. A data center cluster placed deep in the desert becomes incredibly difficult to reach, observe, or disrupt. And finally, practicality. Endless open land, ample room for expansion, cool, dry air that reduces the enormous cooling requirements of AI servers. What appears as barren land is, in reality, a strategic gold mine. These aren't isolated warehouses. China is building a planet-scale AI brain. The 39 data centers in this desert region are being woven together through a high-speed, dedicated digital backbone. This integrated network transforms individual compute sites into a single massively parallel supersystem, where multiple locations can work simultaneously on the same AI task without any delay. This is the network effect that amplifies China's power. A research hub on the coast can tap into computing clusters scattered hundreds of kilometers away with zero noticeable lag. If one segment goes down, the workload instantly shifts elsewhere. The system is powerful, flexible, and resilient, exactly what a nation aiming for AI supremacy would build. By 2028, this desert megaproject is designed to become the new foundation of China's economy and geopolitical standing. Hitting a scale of 300 billion yuan isn't a random milestone. It represents technological sovereignty. The vision is simple, but revolutionary. An entire AI ecosystem, from chip design to software deployment, operating independently of any foreign nation. No reliance on American chips. No dependency on foreign cloud platforms. No fear of sanctions or sudden access cutoffs. This is China's attempt to reach escape velocity, to leave the Western-dominated tech orbit and establish an autonomous system that no one can disrupt. America's original strategy was based on a straightforward assumption. Control the chips, and you control the future. But China built its own supply lines. And that single fact has triggered a geopolitical earthquake. The core weapon of U.S. tech dominance has revealed a major flaw. Enforcement becomes impossible once a rival builds a parallel ecosystem. So what now? Washington faces two uncomfortable choices. One option is escalation. More sanctions, more restrictions, more pressure. But that turns the conflict into a constant game of whack-a-mole against an increasingly independent opponent. The second option is to innovate faster, to leapfrog ahead to the next generation of AI hardware and software before China catches up. But innovation takes time. And in the AI race, time is the most valuable commodity. Meanwhile, the impact of China's desert project is rippling outward. Nations across Europe, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia are watching closely. They see the vulnerabilities in a tech stack dominated by the United States. And they see the raw power of China's state-driven AI infrastructure. A new rule of geopolitics is emerging. AI sovereignty is the ultimate form of national security. Countries now face a difficult choice. Do they align with the traditional US-led tech order, or embrace the rapidly expanding deal-heavy Chinese ecosystem? Some nations will attempt to balance both sides. But China's desert megaproject forces governments to confront an uncomfortable truth. Genuine technological independence is expensive, but dependence on a superpower comes with an even higher strategic cost. We have crossed a threshold. This is no longer a temporary trade dispute. This is the opening chapter of a long-term structural competition. The massive state investment, the sanctions-evading supply chain, the pursuit of total AI independence, all of it signals a point of no return. The era of one single globally integrated tech world is ending. A new divide is emerging. Two incompatible technological spheres, two standards, two ecosystems. And this new Cold War won't be fought with armies or missiles. It will be fought in server racks, fiber lines, and semiconductor fabs. The sands of Xinjiang are now the birthplace of this new technological Cold War, a silent desert complex that symbolizes a fractured global order where compute power becomes the ultimate currency. Two superpowers are no longer just competing, they are building entirely separate futures. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. If you value clear global analysis, consider subscribing and sharing. Stay informed, stay curious.